Okay, this lopsided fuck is really getting me. Okay, so you've most likely heard the news about the UK ruling that women are classified as biological females and there's no delineation between the two. And I had to come on here and make a really not brief video talking about my feelings. Yes, my eyebrows are half shaven. I look bizarre. This wasn't planned. It's 4 a.m. right now. I've been up all night. This is going to be a really low effort video. My heart is so heavy. Even as I talk, I feel like I'm fighting back tears, and I'm not fighting back tears because I'm not recognized as a woman and how dare the court not see that. That's not what I'm talking about. I feel like my heart is so heavy because I've just witnessed more tweets from JK Rowling and it's just gone too far. This whole thing is just too much. I don't know what's happened. This is all too much. I knew this would happen. I knew things like this would happen when they went for the children and the people have started transitioning their children. I don't agree with that. And when transgender women have competed with females, that's absolutely... I'm so against that. The world has gone fucking insane. I just want reason. All these podcasts and all these news outlets and everything aren't talking to reasonable trans people like me. Just grounded day-to-day trans people that aren't looking to radicalize other people. It's always the septum-pierced, lurid-haired radicals that think there's no difference between females and trans women, and I'm hurting for trans women, and I'm hurting for females who are being decimated in competitions because I am biologically male. I'm not looking to rewrite reality. That's biology. It's my philosophical worldview that I'm a woman. That's my personal philosophy because my definition of womanhood encompasses the visual, the performative, the social roles, the identity. There's many abstract characteristics that I think are encapsulated in womanhood. And of course, reproduction and menstruation and chromosomes, these are very real aspects of womanhood. There's part of this under the umbrella, right? But I do take a more contemporary stance on what a woman is. And we're free to debate that. I just don't want the hate. I don't want the hate. And I don't want trans women like me competing with females because that's so unfair, and I don't think young children can make long-term decisions for their health. And I think this transgender stuff has gone too far, and now society is rightfully pushing back. I don't agree with the way they're pushing back. I don't agree with the stance that people are taking, and I think there's a lot of hate and vitriol and irrationality, and people are acting very reflexive. I just want to form a sisterhood. I think there could be, and there has been, and I hope there will be again, a profound sisterhood between females and trans women. When you look at me, if you're being honest, you don't see man, right? You don't feel and perceive man. Now, we can debate as to whether you see women. This is a clearly very contentious issue right now, but it's quite obvious that I'm not just a man as you would expect. I think there is a place, in my opinion, I think there's a place in the world of womanhood for people like me. I do consider myself a woman, but I don't want to push that on anyone. I just feel heavy in my heart because of what's going on. I want to have reasonable conversations. The way it started out with JK Rowling, it makes me so sad because I loved her stance in 2020. I thought the way she wanted to make a pragmatic delineation between females and trans women, and she voiced support for trans women and trans people, and she respected them, or she at least voiced respect for them. And I was giving her a big thumbs up. I thought, support females, support young females and adult females, and understand the differences between trans women and biological women. I was for that. And then she was pelted with enormous hatred and death threats and abuse, and Joanne, I think that's her name, JK Rowling's name, was so viciously pelted that, as smart as she is, and she's clearly erudite and cogent in many ways, I think she's just been driven into this very vitriolic and dark place, and she's become this churlish bully. And listen to me, I'm not saying she's a bully because she doesn't think I'm a woman. That's totally fair. I think she's being churlish and vitriolic and nasty because she's going after individuals, laughing at them, poking fun at them, alienating them, and she's treating us like we're disgusting freaks. And the news is capitalizing on this and is radicalizing everyone. I think if you soften your heart and you open yourself, you can see clearly I'm not this deranged, insane person. Okay, fine. The fact that I have shaven eyebrows and I'm crying on camera doesn't help. if you could just be pragmatic, you can notice I'm not a threat. I'm not out to get anyone, but the news, the media and social media, this ideological influx and figureheads like JK Rowling are spearheading this movement that have made trans people look absolutely insane. I just want to see people like me interviewed. I just want to see reasonable, rational, day-to-day trans people interviewed. I was watching a podcast the other day, totally fascinating to me, with these three women, they were all female, and they were discussing transgenderism and gender identity and things like that. I found it so fascinating, and it really didn't seem charged or hateful, but critical, rightfully critical with this modern influx of transgenderism. We should be critical and skeptical, as with everything. And so I thought, I love this. I want to see more episodes. I want to see them interview trans people, because this podcast was called something about gender. It was literally a podcast about gender. So I thought, oh, I want to see how they interact with trans people. I went through their episode list. I could not find a single episode where they interviewed a trans person. A podcast about transgenderism and gender identity. And not once in all their episode list have they interviewed, as far as I'm aware, a trans person. That is so unbelievable to me. And this is what everything's derailed into. We'd rather talk about trans people. We'd rather interface with the nightmare of the concept of trans people and transgenderism and those freaks and those cross-dressers who are perched inside women's bathrooms looking to molest little girls. And it just makes me so mad. Why are people not talking to me? They're talking to ideologues. They're talking to irate, maladjusted people. Let's put that diplomatically. It makes me so upset. Jordan Peterson. Why is Jordan Peterson talking endlessly about transgenders, but I don't see him talking to a transgender person? Candace Owens is the same. None of them will shut the fuck up about trans people. Fine, it's a very interesting topic. I like that people are talking about it. I don't like how they're talking about it, but I like that we're talking about it. I'm shaking right now. I very, very rarely cry. It's not common that I cry. All these people, particularly conservatives, are up in arms and talking about and denigrating trans people, but not talking to trans people, just about them when they're not in the room, because it's easier to formulate this sensational, nightmarish idea about them. I am sending out my signal so I can form a sisterhood with females, so we can form a solidarity and notice our similarities. We are both vulnerable feminine entities in this world. We both experience similar rhythms and similar vulnerabilities, and while there are many areas where we're different, I can't relate reproductively, I can't relate menstrually, I can't relate chromosomally, although I think chromosomes have been so overblown. We didn't even know they existed 90 years ago. There's more areas of commonality than dissimilarity. This is just a messy video to put my thoughts out there. I wanted to broadcast as a beacon, just to say, I think I'm reasonable. I don't think I'm a freak. I don't know why people want to put me in a straitjacket. I'm, aside from this video, happy in my life and consider myself well adjusted, aside from the fact that I have shaven eyebrows. I shave my eyebrows off because I like to draw the ends on, okay? I'm okay. My heart is heavy, but I'm okay. And I'm not out to get anyone, and I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. And my heart just throbs, and I hope you're all well. And I hope JK Rowling feels love, and I hope she surrounds herself with people that make her feel safe, and I hope she meets lovely trans people that can show her compassion. I hope the world eventually opens their arms to her in a way that is non-charged and loving, and she can feel lovely, so that she doesn't need to keep being really fucking mean. It's meanness that I don't like. Witnessing her tweet about some transgender celebrity, and this transgender celebrity looks totally like a woman and totally respectable. I mean, I don't know about this transgender celebrity's actions. They may not be respectable, but just looking at them, you can clearly register they want to be a woman. They look like a woman, and I would call her a woman myself. And for JK Rowling to laugh at this woman, transgender woman, getting upset, saying he really is the gift that keeps on giving. He's still a man. Like, why is that necessary? How does that help the world? We can have pragmatic discourse. We can critique and protect what needs to be protected, and we can debate, but why be mean and nasty? Why make people feel horrible? Why is it your goal to just denigrate people? I invite a different world, and I think we all just need to stop now.